There's a few tall guys there. I love Anyang. Love the way he goes about it. I think McKinnon Collins, yeah, he's playing too. Yeah. A couple of very elite players. Come on, Alejandro. Good afternoon from wherever you may be joining us from around the world here on Filming Footy for some Div 1 action Saturday afternoon in the Adelaide Footy League round 16. The closing 3 weeks, which means every game, every quarter, every possession is crucial for these two sides. St. Peter's come in to today's matchup here at Caterer Oval on the bottom of the table, but only one win away from safety, and Broadview in 7th, one loss away from relegation. It's a match with plenty on the line. Beck Northcott, good afternoon to you.
Hello, Jack, and you're right, we were just looking at the ladder before. It is actually so tight at the mid and bottom of the ladder, so these last 3 weeks are going to be massive for all teams, really from 5th and below.
Yes, indeed. So the other fixtures happening, it's 1 versus 2 today. Glenunga and Sacred Heart. Payneham taking on Port, 3 versus 4. 5 versus 6, Golden Grove up against Prince Alfred. And here we are with Broadview and St. Peter's, and Brighton and Tea Tree Gully playing each other as well. So a couple of massive results. We'll keep you posted all throughout the afternoon. But the umpire has the ball in the middle of the ground at Caterer Oval. I'm Jack Moore. This is Beck Northcott for the first quarter.
So, straight in the middle. Umpire's picked up a 3 already. Go the way of Broadview. Look to go inside 50 straight away. Plenty of one-on-ones to be seen. Out the back, of course, is Boras. Unable to take the mark, but he's got it in possession. Gets the handball out to McKinnon Collins, but sprays it to the left. But very fast play. First score of the day already goes the way of the Tigers.
Yes, indeed. So coming into this one, last time these two sides met back in the beginning of the season, Spock won 118 to Broadview 58 by 60 points. They led by 3 points at quarter time, 24 at half time, and 3 quarter time, ended up winning by that margin of 60 points. Bedford kicked 5, Michaels with 4, Higgins 3, and Roberts kicked 2. For Broadview it was 2 for McKinnon Collins, that man who had that chance. As Broadview come back into the middle of Caterer Oval, it's a scything kick. Doesn't quite work. Here's Rodos moving it off half back, being chased down aggressively. Almost catching him up with Smith and moving it into the middle of the ground. It's been all Broadview in the opening stage. Moving it on. Little's back into the side, and that's a long boot. It's going to be a second behind of the day. So Broadview peppering early. So those ins for Broadview. Nick Little, the former South Adelaide 190 gamer in the number 4, and Jesse White, of course, played lots of footy in the AFL for Collingwood and Sydney, and a Glenelg Premiership player in 2019. Some massive ins over the past couple of weeks as Broadview look to secure their spot in Div 1, and unmarked coming out to meet it. This is Kobe Russell. He's got 20 goals on the season so far.
Yeah, I'd be pretty happy with that if I was Kobe Russell. Just a handy 20 for the year. And, well, Broadview really dominated the play early in this match. Just Spock haven't been able to break through, get it inside 50. So looking for their first here, Broadview.
So the most experienced player out there for Broadview, 158th game for the club. 20 goals this season, just pushes it away again, that left-hand side. Bit of a breeze coming towards the commentary side. Sportal scoreboard, 3 behinds for Broadview. Spock yet to get a possession inside their forward half.
They look to go forward now through Brodos. Lobs it on the boot, but just had nothing really inside 50 to go to. Had to hold it up a little bit there through Michaels. See some targets up forward. Umpire saying holding on by the looks. So free kick going the way of Spock. They'll be happy with that. It is in the hands of Harvey George. So first inside 50, first shot on goal. Be happy with those stats.
Yeah, the Walkerville junior George, saw him last week at Brighton, had a pretty good impact in a pretty comprehensive loss, unfortunately, if you're a Spock fan. But he's played some C-grade footy to start the season, reserves, and then made his senior debut in round 6 and has kept his spot ever since.
So Harvey George, bit of distance required on this kick, but he's backing himself in for the shot, not much of an angle. Looks all right off the boot, and that is straight through the middle, and that's the way you do it. Harvey George, 1 shot, 1 goal for Spock. They're leading Broadview at 3 points.
Yeah, it's been a tale of running them close at every game this year for Spock. Spock have had 4 losses under 17 points. They held Golden Grove to a 1-point defeat and then lost to them by 27 points. Also losing to Shock by 30 and 17. Some large losses in there as well. Lost to Gullies by 48, Prince Alfred by 41, Glenunga 33, Payneham 32 and Brighton 38. Their 3 wins have come by under 3 goals. So a great fast start. Made a good start last week against Brighton, but were overrun. Nice hold on the ball decision going the way of Higgins. He was close. Laid the tackle and the ball spun out of Jackson's grasp. But another mark on the lead and starting pretty well. It's about 45, 48 out from goal, so it might be a little bit far out. But if any man can kick it, it's Johnny Reid. Had 3 goals last week and 17 on the season for the Spockos.
Right, a very good target up there in the forward line. If they can make it 2 from 2 here, that's a great start for Spock.
All Broadview in the first couple of minutes. Couldn't put the score on the board. George with the first. And all the way to the line. Over the hands. Hands up like he's crossed the finish line. Still plenty of footy to be played, but the perfect start for Spock. 2 goals on the board early. George and Reid opens the first chapter, and we've played 5 minutes on that Sportal scoreboard. 2 straight 12, Broadview 3 behinds. Chance to thank our sponsors, of course, the Adelaide Footy League, Filming Footy Stats, Hahn Ultra Zero Carb, Dartfish, Farmer's Leap. Our best on ground, of course, wins a pair of Archies. On the lookout for our snag of the day, thanks to Jag Meatworks. Early stages, 5.5 gone.
Oh, good start by Spock here now. Can they keep it up? Stuart Rattray getting up there. Clearance comes through Malachi Carruthers. It's a beautiful kick. Just goes right over the top into the hands of Michaels. Like maybe too far out to score.
Mentioned Carruthers on the way past there. His 50th game for the club today.
Oh, nice little chip kick in from Michaels, finds its target easily, and they've just looked a lot more settled up forward early in this game. Spock, Broadview got it in, had a few sort of rush shots. They had a set shot, just couldn't put it through the middle, but Spock, they just looked nice and settled and ready to get those goals on the scoreboard. Trying to spy on who's having the shot here. That was Carruthers, I believe. So he's just absolutely launched that through, Malachi Carruthers. So 3 out of 3 from Spock. Just the absolute accuracy in comparison with Broadview. 3 behinds, 18-3, almost 7 minutes gone first quarter.
The Carruthers show on early. Fergus, as I mentioned, 50th game for the club today. The Payneham Junior, his brother, of course, the same junior club, but Malachi with more of a star-studded resume. Played some footy at Sturt in the under-18s, Sydney's VFL side, and most recently 27 senior games for Sturt in the Sandford competition. So fast start, 7th goal, I should say, 9 games of the season. Broadview look to respond through Jackson. Jackson's little kick inside to about 40 out. Anyang's always good and leaves it. He got the call from the back. This is Campbell Mulleron. Has 12 goals in the season. Made his senior debut in round 6, 2022. He'll have a shot from about 35 out. Slight angle. Broadview have been headed. Early start. Quick start from Spock. Mulleron just floats it towards the face and away to that right side. So plenty of pepper towards the goal face, but no spice on the scoreboard. Broadview 4 behinds. They trail by 14 points. We've played 8 minutes on the Sportal scoreboard.
That was an absolute launch out of the goal square. Mike couldn't be taken there by Stuart Rattray, so it's back inside 50 into Broadview. Got McGill there getting the quick hands out. Got that to Belperio. Did that very well. Looks to go long down the line, but it's all Broadview Tigers in the zone. Look to go back inside 50 yet again. Looking for Boras and straight into his hands. This is obviously a player you want it in the hands of. 34 goals for the season, Johnny Boras, and I think he's convinced himself to take the shot now.
Yeah, there's a few who called his name early when he took the mark, but he turned his back pretty quickly from about 50 out. He's got Lockwood on the mark, so he's going to have to do well to get it over him. Might just pinch off an extra metre or so on the kick. He'll give it his best shot though.
We need someone to step up and put one through the middle here. Will it be Boras? It's going to drop short. Looking for a mark in the square. Almost one taken. Quick hit comes out from Facey for Spock. Little bit of a fumble. Another chance now maybe for Broadview. Kick goes inside the square and it's another behind. So touched over the line. The 5th point of the match to Broadview. They're still trailing by 13 points to Spock. 3 straight 18.
Yeah, they're doing it all in points at the moment. Tigers are. Kicked the first 3 points of this game. Up to 5 now. Still trail by 13. Near wing. Strong marking attempts. Maybe got whipped around the head, did Stuart Rattray. He's been a shining light since making his debut last season. Lockwood comes in. Jesse White late. So he couldn't affect the tap down. Hamish Allen playing alongside his 2 brothers. Edward Allen back into the captaincy role. And Hamish back in the team this week alongside Ben McGill. Just tunnelled slightly under the flight of that footy. Spot come away with it through Malachi Carruthers. Had a pretty good start. Should have taken that mark uncontested, but they've got numbers to sweep it up. Hill just puts it out in front, and turning onto it came Flanagan. Pops it to about 40 out. Caught at the back, but he did well to make the body contact early. Jackson's hovering around. So is Malachi Carruthers. Umpire will say it's mine as Anyang helps up O'Leary on the outer side. About 40 out from Broadview's goal. Lockwood and Anyang. Looks like Anyang and White might be tag teaming in the ruck. Colley's kick didn't really go anywhere, so it's going to come straight back over his head to a contest. Taken out of it early was the Broadview player. Looked like he wanted to win a free kick and trying to spin through a brick wall and getting dealt with. Strong tackle by Tom Facey to relieve the pressure. 11 gone. Spock still have a 13-point lead on that Hahn ultra low carb scoreboard.
They're holding up very well in defence at the moment, Spock. Just their skills just really sharp when they're trying to push out of defence. Really held up well when they've been put under pressure in the first 5 minutes. Malachi Carruthers just gets a nice little chip kick. You can see got really silky skills by foot.
This time last year, Spock won by 4 points here at Caterer Oval. That was on their way to winning 5 of their last 6 games to save their skins in Div 1 footy.
Oh, we've seen what they're like when they've got that desperation, really wanted to stay in Division 1, but putting up a challenge here is Russell, and in the goal square all by himself was McKinnon Collins, and he wanted that badly, but Russell was already on his way to the lineup. But I probably would have taken the goal square option at the moment because all shots on goal so far have amounted to points. So if I was Russell, I'd be wanting to put this straight through the middle. Kobe Russell, as Jack said before, 20 goals for the season, nearly went into a nice chest mark at the back of the pack, but wasn't to be.
Yeah, that breeze is just pushing towards us, but just holding up those kicks. But to be fair, the kicks haven't been too skillful inside 50 yet for the Tigers.
So it just gets hit through for a behind. Smart play again from the Spock defenders. So Broadview finally got themselves to a goal.
6 behinds will do it. Running out of defence, Malachi Carruthers all the way to the wing. The defensive marking has been non-existent. That's Colley's kick inside 50. Coast to coast in the matter of 5 or 6 seconds. That is champagne footy. inside 50 kick from Broadview. You can expect silk off that man's boot. Tough angle to convert, but if they find themselves down by more than 12 points after this kick, they've got themselves to blame, the Tigers.
We say it all the time, bad kicking's bad footy. Pretty simple part of it, but yeah, 6 behind, 6 shots on goal to 3 shots, 3 goals, that's the difference.
They started well last week down at Brighton, but couldn't put the score on the board. All the fans who have turned out are pretty happy at their lads to try to save themselves 2 years in a row coming into this game on the bottom of the Div 1 table. Might be a second goal there for Johnny Reid. That pocket's a fair distance away from our commentary position, but nevertheless, so 4 goals on the board, 4 straight, 6 behind. That's all you need to know. 14 minutes gone in this first quarter, thanks to Sportle and Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard, and Spock have got a clean break.
I got him up on the binos. It was definitely Johnny Reid with his second for the game. Kicked true and he liked it off the boot straight away as well. And just Spock, they just keep coming, pushing through as to Cesare. Couldn't quite get it, so this time the clearance will come for Broadview. That's some better skills. Trying for a fast moving entry this time to Boras. He has to dive for it. Does a little bit of a flip, but straight into the hands. Does the best. We're just witnessing a near miss accident behind us here, but
thought the car was trying to put the players off, but just reversing in the wrong spot. But interesting fact, both these sides have lost 5 of their last 6 games, so neither one of these clubs are in form, and the goal kicking has proven that so far for Broadview. But another chance to add their first goal, 15 minutes gone.
So Johnny Boras, they just quite simply need to get one through the middle to Broadview. Nice kick, but that's going to be another behind. So believe it or not, Broadview, they've had like double the shots on goal, and yet they're trailing. What are we seeing here, Jack?
It's incredible. It's a wasteful start for the Tigers, and they've had some wasteful games. They've lost 6 games by under 18 points this season.
Oh.
If they're going to survive, they need more marks like that to be converted.
Now that's more like it.
Flanagan wraps the Jukes around it. He'll go back from 40 out directly in front. Surely this is their opening goal of the day.
They've played every game this season. He just needs to put one through for the Tigers now.
When he gets inside 50 for both teams, there's been little defensive resistance. Broadview finally have their first. Up and running on a crisp Saturday afternoon. And Campbell Mulleron it was. Flanagan in the 13, Mulleron in the 33. Those numbers in the back of that yellow stripe are a bit misleading.
That got me as well.
Jogs halfway to the bench and then gets sent back. I like that though. So many times you see kicks for goal score and then the goal scorer is dragged or given a rest. So his first, Campbell Mulleron, he's got 13 goals. Had that pot shot about 5 minutes in, couldn't convert. But Broadview right back in this game, 1-7-13. Spock still with an 11-point lead. 17 minutes gone.
Stuart Ratway gets the tap and then gets the clearance off the kick himself. It's a beautiful kick. Just dropped into the area of Fergus Carruthers. Got plenty on in the pocket. Nice ball came from Broadview, but ball's very much still alive. Benny McGill was in there ready to cause some havoc, and I think Broadview will finally get the chance to rush it. So first behind of the match to Spot. They still lead 4-1-25, Broadview 1-7-13. We're just over 17 minutes into this game. Broadview now, it's their first chance to kick out for the match. See what their strategy is for it here. There's plenty of space on that wing, so they use it. The next kick will be the test.
It's a good kick from the captain. That was Ferguson there.
All the way to 50. Good defensive punch there by Allen. Now all the hard work has to come from Nick McGill. it across to Belperio. It's just been an absolute brick wall back there. Edward Allen gets involved now and Carruthers, and just they're all working so well together at the moment, I think, in defence, the Spock team.
Very speedy off half back. Allen put the Jets on, but Mark was good. Reid was confronted and a ball up on the outer side. Yeah, the only win in their last 6 games came courtesy of an after the siren goal against Tea Tree Gully for Spock. So without that, they'd have 1.5 feet in Div 2 already, but they're still alive. And a strong start against the Tigers, who, well, don't travel well. They've only won a couple on the road all season. That's a marking interference free kick. Umpire's right there, blows a whistle. Stefan Sederblad and Frank Manicus, 2 of Div 1's finest men in green. Short inboard, McGill tries to bite one off to a man, drifting back. Gives away the free kick, couldn't do much else. And what a beautiful delivery inside to about 30 out from goal. We'll be right behind it here as he lines up for Spock's 5th of the quarter. They don't usually kick more than 2 or 3 goals in quarters to Spock. Pretty low scoring team, but here's Higgins, the vice captain. Played some footy at Kingston down at Narracourt as a junior, Walkerville as well. And some reserves footy at Norwood. So Higgins just steps up and drifts it wide across the left. Needed a couple of paddles just to bring it back in. But the wind has just died down momentarily. It's probably why it drifted away to the left-hand side. Spock 4-2-26. Broadview 1-7-13. A 13-point lead to the men in blue as we tick into time on in this first quarter on the Sportal and Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard.
And as you said, haven't really been a high-scoring team, Spock. 4 goal quarter is pretty big for them, but as you mentioned in their last meeting, Spock did score 18 goals, so maybe just that's what Broadview brings out of them. They just want to score, and they're looking to go back down. They're scoring it again, go inside 50, but nice defensive mark taken. Broadview now, chance to work it out, but that ball has gone out on the full, so Benny McGill, he'll collect this free kick here.
Yeah, the only time they've kicked more than 75 points this year has been against these Tigers, and that was 118.
They're just, they like to keep other teams to a, smaller score as well, and yeah, traditionally this season haven't kicked massive scores themselves, but yeah, it must just be the Broadview matchup. They just like to score, so ball goes up again. We're still in that dangerous area for Spock. Umpire's seen a free as well, so this could be another shot on goal. Player copped one too high, I think. So the shot now will come from Charlie Allen.
Off the back, you can always spot Allen, can't you, with those long sleeves? Doesn't matter what the sun's doing or the weather, he's got those long sleeves on.
I respect that. As a sleeve all seasons operator myself, Charlie Allen's solidarity is the kick comes off the boot, looks alright, distance was no issue, but just drifted a little bit, so another behind. Started off so accurately, did Spock, and just peppering the scoreboard here. Really could have just, put Broadview to the sword early. Yeah,
14-point lead on that Sporto and Hahn scoreboard, but good observation from you, Beck. Broadview have just pushed them wide in the past few minutes, just forced them to take shots for goal from a little bit narrower angles. There's Day, can't get over the back of Bedford, who kicked 5 last time these two teams met from that midfield wing roll. It's a kick that just invites Johnny Boras to come and meet it. Checks the letterbox, opens the invitation, and then dobs it to about 20 out. There's the most recent goal scorer, their only one for the day. Campbell Mulleron just can't keep it in, but probably professionally just taps it over, reset. And good observation for you back earlier as well, the percentage from these two teams separated by 0.07%. So a Spock win would see them leapfrog Broadview and out of the relegation zone, but still plenty of footy. Rodos, Lazy Susan operator, just spun around. You got about 30, but it's going to come back if they can sort this out and sort their angles out.
Oh no.
They can't. Ferguson overrun it. Here's Ben McGill trying to make them pay. the full amount, just on the stretch. About 20 out, chasing it out. The ball just wouldn't behave for Michaels. But a good beacon inside 50. He's got 21 goals in the season. Tapped out, umpire just letting them play, which is nice. Not going to pay a free kick unless it's definitely there. Broadview sauntering in the middle of the ground. Smith just elects to open up Caterer Oval. Here's Wilson as Broadview look to push it inside 50. It's Nick Little.
So, Little, in his first game for the year in the ones, and the kick just goes over the head of all his forwards. All the work being done by Nick McGill.
No talk there, was there? No. It was perfectly shaped for Smith, and he just pulled out of it.
It's very interesting because the forward line has been really loud from Broadview, but it just didn't happen at that moment. Nick McGill pushed himself all the way up the ground to just put in that beautiful kick up forward. He said, you know what, I'm going to win it back here. I'm going to take it up there and just deliver it. So he comes in.
Yeah, he was dealt with as soon as he kicked it. Elix Day, that was very undisciplined stuff. Umpire was hovering about a metre away. Nick Michaels it was who took the mark. Dropped one a minute ago. Wasn't going to drop a second. Took the mark, played on, and Day came in late. So a downfield free kick directly in front for Higgins.
Yeah, just a bit undisciplined there, and not something you can afford in any game, but especially this one. So James Higgins makes no mistake. He was directly in front, and distance nothing to speak of at all. So Spock, they moved to 5-3-33, a nice 20-point buffer now against Broadview, 1-7-13, and that could really come back to haunt the Tigers.
Yeah, 8 scoring shots apiece on the Sporto and Han Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard, but the margin is 20 points, 25 minutes. Beck, again, spot on by you. That's just this time of the quarter. Just want to shut up shop. That kick on goal from Michaels would have been fortunate at best to sail through with this swirling breeze, and Day coming in late. Kick was set up directly in front. Higgins is going to make no mistake. He missed one earlier this quarter. All the experience. He's got his 9th goal on the season. Played every game for Spock. So 20-point gap. We're approaching quarter time. We've had 6 goals and a number of points, so he could have a long quarter. There's Bedford just being held on to, retarded slightly. Doesn't matter. Gets the hands to it. DeCesare sprinting out of the middle. His kick spoiled down. Bedford goes after it. He's beaten to it by his teammate. Now he's got it. He's a silky user, and no exception back inside for Collie. Assesses the options and chooses a magnificent one on the lead. Couldn't help but mark it. Spock with another chance to add a time on goal. Johnny Reid, what a find he's been this season. He came into this season with only 3 goals to his name in Spock colours in over 25 games. He's lining up now for his 3rd of the day and 20th of the season. Not even quarter time. Oh, he just puts it up on the breeze and just reads it like a book. Uses it beautifully. Bends that Sharon right back in. The flags are waving, and Spock are off to an absolute flyer. 6-3-39, run 7-13. Broadview have come to Caterer Oval with their season on the line. Final is still an outside chance, but the same kind of chance of dropping into that relegation zone they've been headed. 26-point lead, quarter time almost upon us.
Yeah, Spock, they've just got answers for everything, and 2 goals there really in that red time. That's a bit of a coach killer for Broadview. As you said earlier, Jack, you kind of just want to shut up shop and finish off the quarter, and there it is. So right on quarter time there was that goal from Johnny Reid, and Spock have burst out of the blocks, and I said it before, they seem to just play well when they're up against it, backs against the wall, like relegation zone heating up. And in the first quarter they've kicked 6 goals, 3-39 to Broadview, 1-7-13. So got off to an absolute fly, 26 points. I didn't quite see this coming, Jack, did you?
Nah, not at all. I thought it would be a close encounter. I guess Broadview's inaccuracy is not too surprising, having coming in with 5 of their last 6 losses. But as we said, Spock came in with the exact same record, having lost 5 of their past 6. And Broadview in 7th, Spock in 10th, but with a win Spock will leapfrog Broadview. We'll check that Brighton and Tea Tree Gully score at quarter time and come back with an update from there. But here at Caterer Oval at quarter time, this massive match for both these sides. Spock out of the blocks and they lead by 26 points. Second quarter coming up next. Welcome back. It's all happening around the Adelaide Footy League. A couple of updates to bring you shortly, but at Caterer Oval, Spock have come out of the blocks. And fast fanfare. 6 goals first quarter. Beck, you've got a cool stat for us.
Yes, that was Spock's highest first quarter score for the year, so they have come out absolutely flying, Jack.
They've taken full advantage of Broadview. Have just rocked up half an hour late here, it seems, but can they get themselves going? Their opening few minutes are pretty good. Looks like Jesse White now in the ruck, looking to just inject a bit of size, bit of experience, win a couple of clearances. But he can't do anything there. Coming out unopposed and on the lead, Harvey George had a couple of shots in that first quarter. Reed, 3 in the quarter. Can you believe that? There's Day just trying to get involved. Umpire says throw it in. So nice day here at Caterer. Round 16, last 3 rounds of the season. Plenty on the line. Winner of this gets themselves out of the relegation zone. Loser, well, they'll be stuck in it. There's White. Hit out, he's getting involved. O'Leary confronted, almost assaulted by a blue battering ram. Facey tries to collect it, umpire says off hands. They'll throw it in just on this near side in the middle of the 2 benches. The only bit of shade across the entirety of Caterer Oval. And after a minute gone, Spock in control of this one. White just caught at the back. He moves his way to the front against Stuart Rattray. Done well to equalise that. Then gets the clearance. George just bustled under the flight of the footy. Going back in for it. Flanagan. It's all under pressure. Baker. White just can't get the hands out to engage. Stuart Rattray equalising that contest pretty well. Higgins and Wilson. George chasing after it. Here comes Fergus. Just trying to bustle his way through, but it comes out the back. Michael's over the top. Oh, if you don't mind, Spocker off to an absolute flyer. Catch him if you can.
That was brilliant from Michaels. He just used his body so well. Just pushed his way through and said, absolutely not. No one's stopping me here. This is going through for a goal.
Like a flash of lightning in those blue boots. Colour coordinated. Planned the outfit last night, looked himself in front of the mirror, I'm sure, and said, yeah, you look like a game changer. And boy, was that a contender for our Jag Meatworks snag of the day. 7 goals on the board. Early one in this quarter, just what Broadview didn't want.
Yeah, look good, feel good, kick good at the moment for Nick Michaels. And the clearance again comes through Stuart Rattray. Cut off this time by Broadview, who badly need a response here. Daniele. He's been a little bit quiet, and from what we've noticed, O'Leary pushes a kick to the advantage. That was of Manning. Manning now wheels around, goes to that bit of a dead pocket down here at Spock. That was really the only option that they had. And the ball just gets dragged over the line. So the throw in will be inside the Broadview 50. They need to make something out of this. They need a response ASAP. Only 1 goal on the board for this game so far, and they're not going to do it that way. Looks like Allen was the initial recipient trying to run it out. Mark there was almost taken by Elex Day, but it wasn't. So now back in the hands of Nick Michaels, who just called that brilliant goal that was excellently called by you, Jack. Back inside 50. Mark was not taken by Hamish Ralph, but they've got time and space. O'Leary got the hands out. Now running with it is Wilson. Wilson goes wide. Good contest there by Vrodos, but they've got an answer for everything at the moment, Spock, you feel, Jack?
Yeah, Mini Bianco Mark of the day contender for Russell. Flies it inside 50, umpire's whistle harks out. Who's going to be on the end of this one? All pushing back towards the face of goal, so Broadview with a mini reprieve here. They'll get a shot, might be Anyang. He was kind of half held on to in the last time it went inside 50. Perhaps half a one, 6 of the other, but he'll have a pot shot now from about 35 out. To Broadview, need this one desperately.
Oh, absolutely, and he's just got to go back and put it through, and they just got to use this to build themselves up. So Anyang having a shot at it. Oh, and it's just really sprayed that one. He's going to miss the lot. No mark taken on that far side pocket either. Ball's still in play. Spock now getting ready to take it out. Great work there by Malachi Carruthers, just using his speed.
We'll just check in around the grounds quickly. So Tea Tree Gully holding a 2.5 goal lead over Brighton. So live ladder, St Peter's up to 8th. And Broadview down to 9th as it stands. But plenty of footy to be played. 5 minutes gone, second quarter.
So Broadview looking for another opportunity. Is it going to come here? Going to mark just inside 50. Well, it's going to play on now. Looking for the goal square. And there they go. That's the goal that they needed. I think that was finally Boras hitting the scoreboard for the first time today. So it's taken until 5.5 minutes into the second term, but Broadview have their second goal.
Sporto and Hahn Ultra Zero Carbs scoreboard, the goal machine. Oh, he's just up and running a little bit. Just needs a bit of oil these days to get himself up to top operating procedure. Johnny Boras had one from about 55 out over the head of the ruckman Lockwood in the first quarter. Didn't make the distance. That occasion took the mark, played on very quick, improved the angle, just cut the distance. Bit of momentum now, back the way of Broadview. 1 goal apiece in this second quarter. Gee, doing beautifully in the ruck as opposed to Jesse White as Stuart Rattray really dominating in there. Bright light for Spock and the coaching staff. As O'Leary's hustled out by the hooded one, Ben McGill. Back in the side alongside his brother, who played a pretty good game last week, Nick McGill. Both Unley juniors. Been at Spock since 2018 is Ben McGill. Ruck turns rover and just pops it up. More towards us than anyone leading out for the footy, but they run under it. Michaels is having himself a bit of a hot patch. Takes the tackle on, makes no attempt. Umpire right there, and that may be 25 metres. Some common sense umpiring. It was cleared away as the umpire blew the whistle, but we were right in front of it. Beck, he elected to hold on to it, make no attempts. Umpire right there made a great call as Broadview bring it out of their back half.
Yeah, definitely the right call, and he tried to get it out, and I would have called that a throw anyway, so either way it was going back to Broadview, but it's coming straight back in where it came from. Michael, holy moly! He's found some serious air there, but couldn't quite come down with the ball.
Confidence levels are up and about.
Goodness gracious, we've almost seen the Bianco mark of the week right in front of us and had the perfect view of it. Michael's still in the area, but
and he's saying to the fans, that far away as he puts the two thing. Not content with the snag of the day, he wants the tools as well. He wants the double, the weekly double. Gee, Adelaide Footy League Facebook page for all those goals and marks of the week, of course.
Yeah, and you can send in your own nominations as well. We do sometimes see people get a bit frustrated that, their goal maybe in a different division or mark that is didn't get picked up. If you see anything, send it in. Hugo is always looking for nominations.
Indeed. Hugo at filmingfooty.com.au. Broadview. Oh, Spock, look, they were going to easily bring it out of half back, and that dastardly Sharon just bounced at right angles through the head back. Hamish Allen was about to pick it up and run away with it, but Broadview now can get 2 in the space of a couple of minutes. Get themselves right back in this game. Yeah, the Tigers are out of their cage. Just starting to lurk. Still a healthy margin for the boys in blue, but it's back to 20 points. Same amount of scoring shots. Broadview to Sneeder. Being clean with it inside 50. Nice little snap around the corner. 9.5 gone. 20-point margin.
Yeah, and that was another one to Boras, and when I saw it in his hand, I saw him practicing those kind of shots in the warm-up, so never in doubt for me when he had that in his hands, just lined it up with that snap that way. And you said, just needed to get firing. Maybe just one of those, diesel engines that takes a while to get going. A little bit cool, but he's heating up now. Boras with 2 for Broadview.
If you didn't know as well, Johnny Boras, 125 goals in 2021, 77 in 2022, 56 in 2023. That's when he was playing with Imperial up in Murray Bridge, and kicked 208 goals in 57 games for Torrens Valley. So, what a resume.
Yes. The Torrens Valley Lions know them well. So, here they go again, trying to go forward straight away, trying to get in the way was McGill, but feels like those couple of goals from Boras have really lifted the Tigers in the last few minutes. We're 10 minutes into this second term.
36 goals on the season, chasing that top prize for the highest goal scorer in Div 1 as well. So, a personal accolade, but I'm sure he'd much prefer to make sure his team's in Div 1 next season.
Yes, of course, as it comes out now from Spock, they'd probably like a goal as a little bit of a leveller at the moment. Mike wasn't be able to take him by Michaels, but he's still involved trying to get in the tackle there. Not to be. It's going to be cut off this time. No, it isn't. Ed Colley was trying to get his hands in there, but just spilled away. O'Leary chisels it on the boot.
Ethan Smith lifted a couple of gears, hasn't he? Just chasing after those balls.
He has. Oh, speaking of lifting, here he is, John Broadview. Much loved in the Adelaide Footy League commentary ranks, especially by young TJ Tommy Javor. They go central now. That's a brave kick, but you can play like that when you're up. And that is a great run towards goal. It's going to go over, it is, but Malachi Carruthers just dropped short with the kick there, so just behind.
Yeah, credit to Jackson Wilson. That initial mark to Michaels. Michaels looked to play on, and Wilson just bumped him at the most opportune millisecond to stop that. Otherwise, he would have sprinted to about 40 out and let it rip. And the form that Michaels is in, you would have put it in the book. Was he allowed to get inside 50? The kick from White, he got it from McKinnon Collins. Broadview dancing inside. McKinnon Collins, he pushed on. There's a travelator on the outer side. Oh, sits beautifully. Broadview are back. They're right back now. Reward for effort inside 50.
My goodness, and it's that man again, Johnny Boras. He has just absolutely got started, and he doesn't look like stopping. He's going at 100 miles an hour. 3 goals in this quarter. He's single-handedly getting his team back into this game.
And what about McKinnon Collins on the outer side too? He picked it up off half-back, gave it to White, but didn't stop. Ran a 40-metre route straight ahead, had got it at about 60 out, jogged to about 50, and then just bustling through. Smith with the hard work. He's been best on this second quarter, and Broadview are back. 15-point gap now.
Real test coming up now for Spock. They've been outscored this quarter 3-1 after having their hottest start for the year in the first quarter, and that ball is cut off by Wilson. Broadview.
And Spock with the first goal this quarter as well.
Yes, that's right, and they've just really lifted now the Tigers. Great contest there in defence from Ed Allen. Just sees it over the line there with the assistance of Benny McGill. A throw in, a little on the wing, a little bit to the advantage of the Broadview end. They're going to have to tighten up on Johnny Boras because he is threatening to just kick an absolute bag here. O'Leary sends it in, gets it to Mulherron. He looks to go short. It's going to be cut off by Spock. They just need a bit of that composure that they had in the first quarter in defence. Work it out of D50. Go back across goal. That's always a very brave kick, but looks like Johnny Reid's all the way back there and he's just laced out. Anyang, what's going on down there, Jack?
Well, Anyang just drifted in from the side. Not sure how you can't see a man who's, 6'2" and big bulky. And they just tried to mess around with it, just take some time off the clock with 14 and a half gone. Not the right play. What's been working for Spock so far has been that fast ball movement too. So just going back in their shell, and Anyang chiselled kick. He missed one from where he marked it about 5 or 6 minutes ago. And hopefully for the Tigers, O'Leary can do one better and bring it back to a 2-goal game.
So O'Leary in that difficult pocket. The ball gonna drift in and over. No, it's gonna hit the post, and we heard that noise all the way from here. So
clunk.
Just the point to O'Leary, but just feel like Broadview have brought a lot more energy into this second quarter.
Yeah, back in this second quarter for sure. Teams like Spock and more specifically probably Brighton and Gullies, even Broadview, they're where they are on the table because they're just not consistent within games. Yeah. Play one top 3 or 4 quarter or patch and then just completely go away and start arm wrestle at the bottom of the Div 1 table and rising up like the moon but couldn't bring it down. Snap. Don't tell me again. Oh. Gee, Broadview are piling on the pressure in front of goal. Spock need a release, need it quickly. And live update, Brighton have stormed back and they've taken the lead against Gullies, looking to put back-to-back wins on their resume in what is turned out to be Brett Backwell's final year as coach too.
And Reed's just down in the middle of the ground for Spock, hasn't moved from that position for about 30 seconds, so hope he's alright. He's not looking very good, and the ball's just going to stop next to him. Hopefully they give him a chance to get up and get off the ground if he needs to.
It's the ultimate tonic, isn't it, when the ball comes near you and you have a bit of an injury to get back in there, and there he is just roughing around the sides. Just crinkling his way around. Is he held? Yeah, umpire right there, saw it beautifully. Set shot coming up, Broadview.
Yeah, it was just Little there who was just held on to a little bit too long.
Oh, I love it. Broadview are edging back in this game little by little, you might say, Beck.
Yes.
We'll stop that right there. Bang! Hands it off. Broadview are back. Like a freight train in this second quarter. They might charge back and they're well within touching distance of that lead, and there's still a good 8 minutes to play in this second quarter. They've switched a few things up. Little's gone on ball. All the experience to drag that free kick as well. McKinnon Collins just floating across. Day on the wing, and that's a smart run off half back. I tell you what, Manning's been pretty good. White has lifted all the experience, and Smith around the ball has been fantastic. And Spock, not sure what's hit him. Sportal scoreboard. Still have an 8-point lead though. 17 gone.
And they've just lifted on every line, and here they go again with the clearance. Broadview, there's just no answers coming from Spock at the moment as Little just chisels one in. Looking for any of the forwards down there, just absolutely threatening.
Doesn't Little have a chisel, as you called, for a boot? Just
very nice skills on him. Now, throw up here is going to come deep inside 50 for Broadview. Anyang goes up. Quick kick was looking to come up. It's Little again. Kick's gone up higher than it has long. And just be spilled up over that back boundary line. But yeah, Little's just, I feel like he's just lifted. Maybe just needed that first quarter of, max practice, and it's like he's back.
5-time South Adelaide best and fairest, sample level. Keep an eye on him, he's running hot.
Numbers in the square for Spock. There's just that kick and hope, but running onto it first is going to be Mackenzie. Got plenty of time and space, so that's a really nice tackle coming from Brodos.
And Broadview have just set up a couple loose across half back, so if Spock get their hands in it and clear it, should come straight back as well. The spinning of the magnets, it's a coaching win at the moment for Matty Burgess in the Broadview box. Can Michael O'Leary just spin a few magnets back his way?
We'll be hoping so. See a little bit more tackle pressure coming back from Spock.
And Spock have equalised numbers across half back. Looks like Wilson's just been told to run off his man whenever they have the footy. He's on short if they want him, but a tactical battle here.
Long kick, inside 50. Ball a little bit in dispute. Quick kick came out, but that's a good defensive mark by Nick McGill.
Needed to hold that, didn't he? Otherwise, it's going to be in the goal square. A couple of Tigers running onto it. And young chases, but it's over his head. The kick was measured to De Cesare, and off they go. This is what gave them a pretty commanding lead at quarter time, but there's that structure for the Tigers. They've just drifted off their men. Just playing that zone defence immaculately in this second quarter. Ralph takes it, short option on. Elects to go longer instead. Michael's having to push right up the ground to get a touch. He's been starved in the past 5 minutes. Day pushes in, he's taken out.
Ooh.
Shovelled under it. Broadview might get out of trouble though, not if Bedford has anything to say about it. Moving through and cutting a line. Had something he liked, did the hyphen. Stuart Rattray, here's McGill. It's a lovely kick. Stuart Rattray's been top class as the McGills combine. Ben had it, found Nick, perhaps just on his distance. So an unmarked Malachi Carruthers comes at him. Says, give it to me, and Bedford wants it in long. Malachi decides to play on. Pops it to an uncertain spot. Broadview are well stocked. That was a shocking kick. All by himself, here's Flanagan. So we've ticked into time on. Spock holding up with their first inside 50 for a while. This is Tyron Hill, played some reserves footy at the Eagles, 31 games across 2 seasons. Also 47 games for North at reserves level. Goes to a contest. Over the shoulder. Facey over Fergus, but it trickles over the boundary. Throw it in. 21 gone. 8-point Spock lead.
Feels like Spock have just lost a little bit of that confidence from the first quarter. Like that kick from Carruthers, I think he would have had a shot on that in the first quarter. As the ball goes bang with Manning coming into the ruck. Nice cut off by Chol Anyang in defence. He just strolls back and decides, yeah, I'll have a go at it now. Goes long down the line. Numbers are pretty much even. Spock come out with the result, but they've got to find a target. They've been struggling to hit that sort of half-forward line that they were able to do really well in the first quarter. Carruthers gets it across to Bedford, who's been a bit more quiet this week, and the kick by George has just dropped, so they've got to do it the hard way now, Spock. The cut-off now comes from Broadview, just a wasted opportunity there this time from Spock.
3 on none, Spock should win it back. Oh, well done. At the base of that pack. Umpire said you dived in it though, so Spock win it. They had the numbers.
Sure did. Oh.
Looks like a 25 metre penalty it is. Looks like it might have been for abuse on the mark. Didn't see anything else wrong with it, but Daniele perhaps just saying a little bit too much.
Bit silly if that is what it's for. We saw Broadview give away a goal in the first quarter for a downfield kick as well, but there's that defence. They just set up a lot better in this quarter, Broadview.
Just pushing a couple of spare men back, and Spock, as you called it beautifully, second guessing themselves when they're going inside 50. First quarter was go, flow, trust your instincts. Just back on their laurels in this second quarter, and it's been all the Tigers.
Yeah, they just lost a bit of that confidence they were playing with. You know, they were playing like a team that could challenge a top 5 side in the first quarter, and then they probably drifted back to the spot that we've seen for most of the year, which is a bit disappointing for them, but
it's been expected, isn't it? One quarter has been all Spock, second quarter has been all the Tigers, and it's kind of what you expect from teams who are in that bottom 3 or 4. They'll play really great quarters. It's just who can win the arm wrestle at the right time. If Broadview can make it close and keep it close, you just think with the likes of Little and Jesse White that in the fourth quarter they might just have a bit more for Spock. But if Spock can just hold a couple of goals lead, it's going to make Broadview take a few chances they don't want. And we've seen already Spock on the counter are very dangerous.
They are. He's trying to push through. That tackle was too high. So have a go at it now, Spock.
Rodos.
Again, just not able to move off with that pace that they really enjoyed in the first quarter. Forced into this kick mark, and then that one just was too short for Bedford. And just...
So you've got O'Leary and Manning just tag teaming, just pushing up the field. Collie just trying to drag O'Leary up to make sure it's all one-on-one as Spock look up. It is now. So if they go in now, it should be pretty 50-50.
You're seeing it all, Jack. I like it.
But you're right, as soon as they pull that man up, Spock just seemed to be in short kick mode. This is the one.
Gotta hit someone here, though. There they go.
It's all one-on-one.
Higgins.
No one's pushing up to him. No one's leading for it.
Yeah, and you can see him asking for it. He said, you know, someone come at me. And Higgins just decides to go around the mark, wheels around on the left. Got George in there looking for it. Michaels as well, trying to look dangerous. Ball spills back in. Feels like there's tigers everywhere.
And you might not get on it if you lead for it, but the congestion, you just clear that space out.
That's it.
And if you kick the ball into that space, get a crummer running onto it, you never know. But Spock, it's the right end of the ground for them finally, but Little just he wrenches it out, all the experience, and a scything kick, and they're off again now. Smith, Spock really committed numbers to that forward 4-8. Bedford got there. Smith got a kick to it. Fergus, it's inside 50 again for Broadview. Moving it through, he fell over his own feet. Hole opened up in the turf. Ran into it. Tripped down. You want this? It's mine. Stepped around, the crowd shouting ball when they get it. Both teams just don't know what to do when they cross the halfway line. Can Spock push it inside now? That's the fast ball movement. That's how they established a massive lead at quarter time. Broadview so disciplined in this second quarter. Anyang getting back there to support. Manning on the last line, just playing loose off a man. It looks like at the moment is Hamish Ralph, so Spock will do well to equalise that. Boundary throw in ends a pretty scintillating and efficient second quarter for Broadview. After 7 behinds in the first term, 5 goals, 1 in that quarter for the Tigers. They know the stakes. I'm sure Coach Matty Burgess drilled it into them at quarter time. They've been in Div 1. This is their second season back up, of course, after winning promotion in season 2022 along with Sacred Heart. And I'm sure they don't want to be back in Div 2 next year. But around the grounds, Teachery Gully have stormed back into the lead. A seesawing game against Brighton, which means if this result holds, Spock will still find themselves out of the bottom 2. But if Broadview can turn the tables, fortunes will be reversed. At half time, Spock have an 8-point lead back.
And they turned it up that quarter, Broadview, and I think the difference was they did it on all lines. We saw them taking marks, enacting spalls across that half-back line where they were getting outmarked, outplayed in the first quarter. Their midfield really lifted, and of course their forward line lifted through Johnny Boras, just threw 3 on the boot, put 3 through the middle. We saw Nick Little work himself into the game a bit more. So the real big names of Broadview just really started to shine in that game. And Spock, for a bit of that quarter, we're really struggling for answers.
As the guys walk off into the change room for half-time, we'll take a break at half-time. It is St. Peter's still with that quarter-time advantage, although Broadview out of the gates, out of the cage in that second quarter, closing it to an 8-point lead. And we're in for a pretty entertaining second half. Join us soon. Welcome back, third quarter on the way, round number 16. Can you believe it? Jack Moore alongside Beck Northcott on Filming Footy, thanks to the Adelaide Footy League. We've got ourselves a game. It was the old saying goes, of course, a half of 2 quarters. And the first quarter was all Spock. Second, Broadview brought the margin back to 8 points at half time. And the third quarter, well, here we go. Winner of this will drag themselves out of the bottom 2. Loser, they'll find themselves in it.
Stuart Rattray goes up immediately for Spock. Then the clearance goes straight down Spock's end. But here comes that Broadview defence that really stepped up in the second quarter. As Jack said, it's going to be interesting which teams come out to play in this quarter, because we saw different versions of each team in the first half.
It's the block free kick going against the big man, Lockwood.
Broadview just trapped in the 50. Has to go nice and long. Spoil came from Facey. Out the back was McGill. He handballed it to himself in the end. This time goes with a long handball to Charlie Allen. Just very good stuff, but the kick was offline, straight into the hands of Broadview.
Had to stretch up high to grab that, didn't he? Gee, what a second half. This is a massive, massive couple of quarters for St. Peter's and Broadview. Couple of weeks left. Bashing his way in, wearing one, the captain, Edward Allen. He bounced straight back up though, umpire hovering around. So, Spock face Glenunga next week and Port. 2 tough fixtures. They need this win. Here's Day. Spreads it wide. Smith runs for it. Just points to where he wants it. O'Leary comes back in, finds Daniele. O'Leary stuck out the one Duke and pushed it towards forward 50. McKinnon Collins coming way too late. Intercept mark taken by the captain, Eddie Allen. He covers some turf, Beck.
He does. I mean, see him running through the midfield, and then he somehow got himself back into the pocket to take that mark. Just good leader amongst this team. Just
fires that kick out towards the wing like a ray gun. Moving on to it. Colley's kick is intercepted though. That would have been quite the start of the quarter. We're goalless after 2 minutes. This is Day. Tries to get it on quickly. He's had a couple of touches now in the opening few moments of this second quarter, and that's that man again, Edward Allen, putting his hand up, leading the Spot cause. And just on Broadview, a couple of massive 4-point games to finish off their season. Tea Tree Gully next week and Brighton in the final round. Super important couple of quarters coming up here. Sportal scoreboard, Spock still have an 8-point advantage. We've ticked towards 3 minutes in this third quarter.
Now after Spock came out firing in the first quarter and then Broadview came back, I feel like we're just going to get one that goes down to the wire here. It just got that feel about it. Ball's just going to spill over the line again. Didn't really go anywhere, so it'll be another throw in.
Yeah, they've both thrown and missed a few punches in that first half, didn't they? Broadview had 7 behinds on the board to 1 goal before they kicked 4 in a row in the goal column, and Spock a blistering first quarter. So where's the next punch coming from?
We'll just have to wait and see. Very even at the moment. Ball just trailing along that wing. The tackle was too high, said the umpire, so free kick going the way of Broadview. Long down the line, almost got it in there, did Ferguson with one hand. They got numbers on in the middle now. Quick handball came out by Smith. Gets it again. They got plenty of options up forward, and that's the one that they like the most, in the hands of Jack Fergus.
He got it there eventually. Gee, the first time he got the footy, Smith, he could have popped it inside 50, but Fergus just wasn't on the lead. Had a couple of fans away to our right calling it to get pounded in there, but he waited, assessed it, and found an unmarked Fergus.
It's Fergus, nice looking kick, might just go a little bit short, plenty flying up on offer for the mark, but no mark taken. And Spock, they're wanting to just get it out of there straight away. The fans want it out of there too.
There's a fair travelling contingent here. The Broadview fans have travelled in voice and in number today.
Oh, just a little bit of a spoil there, not going the way of Broadview. Kick came out from Higgins. Getting under it is Charlie Allen. Put a stop to Charlie Allen playing on, so he has to go long and wide. The kick does well. Oh, just ball was stolen over the back. Umpire said play on. The mark there for Stuart Rattray goes begging. Now back in the hands of Broadview. Again, looking a bit more central. Anyang's there, but coming through for it was Mulherron. Now bustling through the pack, Jesse White. Out wide to Alex Day. He gets the kick in, just dropped into Smith, but out the back there, Nick McGill, and he's just been so solid all day, Jack.
Yeah, Stuart Rattray, that kick inside 50 minutes ago, had both hands to it, but unlucky for him, his defender had a couple of jukes on it too, so umpire right to call play on. 5.5 gone, third quarter, Sportal scoreboard. So much on the line. A long season comes down to a moment here or there. Whose moment's coming up? McKinnon Collins sprinted out to it, but didn't get a hand anywhere near it. Turned straight over. Last possession rule in the Adelaide Footy League. Spock will take it. Vice captain McGill short to Eddie Allen. McGill played some footy for the UTS Bats in Sydney.
The Bats?
Not sure there's many teams called the Bats out there. It's a unique moniker. Here's Collie.
Stretch.
Yeah, beautifully done. Slow play now. Into a fast one. Allen got it back. Collie ran on and gave it back to him. George put the hand out. Fended off and then dropped it cold. And this man's been pretty good down back, Kane Flanagan, just short up the D50 since that Spock surge in the first quarter. Going to pound it short. McKinnon Collins, he's had a bit of a tricky quarter, but he's put himself in the right spot, so it will come off for him eventually. Gee, the handball off to Bedford, and the kick was wide and long. Last possession again, and both teams just teetering on the edge of taking that risk in this second quarter. You feel that, Beck. Both of them just don't want to make that mistake.
That's it, just waiting for someone to take control here early in this quarter. But yeah, as you said, just both teams playing it a little bit safe. It goes into the safe hands of Jordan Lockwood, one of the tallest men on the field, probably one of the tallest in the league. Jordan Lockwood. Got plenty of voice long down the line. The ball goes that way, long and high. Who's going to jump up for it? There were options, but no safe hands to be found. So back inside 50. Looking dangerous here, and the mark comes over the back.
Muller on there.
Did well again, just not sure about what to do with it, but safe option, kicked it to Little. Little puts it on the boot, and that's what you get when you've got Nick Little in your team. Kicks it to McKinnon Collins. He
deserves this. It was a pretty regulation mark. Plays on though.
Handed it off. And there's a miss. Are we going to see the Broadview of the first quarter that kicked 7 behinds, Jack?
Stevie J. Stephen Jackson. McKinnon Collins remarked minutes ago he's worked very hard and deserved to probably just go back and have a set shot there. Decided not to. Here's Allen. McGill brought it out.
Oh.
He gave it to Facey. And Allen returns a favour back to Nick McGill. 13th game of the season. It's a pretty cool head. Has Wilson across the face of goal. Manned up now by Fergus. Crowd's just moving a bit uneasy on their chairs here. No one willing to bite off that kick. That might cost them. Kick from Belperio all the way to the wing. There's George. Bit of body work. That was nice. It was Reed, in fact. Collie moving it on now. A bit of pace on the Sharon. De Cesare just undercuts it slightly and measures it. Malachi Carruthers has a goal to his name. Eddie Allen over the top. Impossible angle on that wing. Boundary umpire called into it, and they just played with their food a bit too much. Trying to almost just walk it in, but credit Broadview for pushing them wide. They couldn't go back in the corridor. Eddie Allen's kick out of bounds in the full and back to the Tigers.
The Spock fans aren't happy, but umpire's called what he's seen, and it looked right on the edge to me.
And Broadview are the ones that have got to take it on. They're behind again, remember, Spock have the lead.
That's it, they're trying to take it on now. Hand to foot, go out wide. Charlie Allen couldn't get there, so again it's Broadview. They're just on the move, going across. McKinnon Collins this time.
He's been the hardest working player in this quarter, and portions of that second quarter, his wing run led to one of their goals as well, if you remember that. He's going to back himself in here from 40.
I think he'd want to just get himself on the scoreboard here. Like you said, he's been working really hard, just a bit of reward for effort. McKinnon Collins, looks like it's dropping a bit short. Going to be touched over the line for a throw-in.
They'll take that, the Tigers. Just lock it in there. 11 gone. No goals so far in this quarter. It's a real arm wrestle here.
A game that started out as a shootout. It's really just simmered a little bit. We said just waiting for someone to take this game on as Belperio sends it out. O'Leary says no, it's coming back. He takes a bounce. O'Leary looking for Boras. Get Boras back firing again, and now the crowd just getting a bit vocal, getting involved now.
A shout for ball, but that was top umpiring. Had no prior, and the tackle knocked the ball out. So play on, excellently done by umpire Frank Manicas there. 20 out, he offers it up. Who wants to come through? A goal here, a bustling rampage for the Tigers will draw things level with a quarter and a half to play. Stuck inside forward 50. Man on man everywhere. No one willing to give an inch. So Lockwood goes up, punches it down, repeats stoppage. Gee, it's tense.
Oh, it is, and yeah, you feel the tension in the crowd as well. Yeah, everyone's just starting to get a little bit more involved on the sidelines.
So much on the line here, trying to work his way through. That was Ferguson, the captain, just trying to put his hand up and take it upon himself to have that snap on goal. Anyang's back in the goal square. McKinnon Collins, bit of a height mismatch against Facey if it gets out of the pack quick. So Lockwood opposed. Ruck contest, one down, run it in, Broadview. All the way to the goal, it's going to be on the line. Punch back inside. Would have done well to rush it over. Nick McGill, all the pressure in the world. He gets out of a jam.
How does he do
Excellently done. So much on the line. Would have felt the breath down the back of the neck. Broadview. Hassle and pressure and pick it up. Little. Wrapped around the neck. He knows how to draw free kicks. Six-time South Adelaide best and fairest, 191 games, sample level, hands it off. This kick is the next one in the chain. Couple of Tigers coming out for it. Broadview crowd wanted ball, but the tackle was over the shoulder. Advantage. Here's Collie. Here comes Spock.
Yeah, they've got to push down now, make something happen as Grant kicks it long. There's no one there to receive it though, so back in the hands of Broadview. Day's got options. You see McKinnon Collins looking to get back involved. It's probably just a bit long. Oh, we've got a rogue boot on the field as well. Someone's lost a shoe there. Here goes Allen against Anyang. Comes out of it this time, Belperio, sorry. Does well there, Charlie Allen. That's a great handball across to Rodos. Rodos. Oh, he's got on in the square there, all in the 50 there, sorry, was Reed and just lost sight of the ball maybe at the last minute, and that's front on contact, so free goes to De Cesare. And just, one went begging there, I think, though, Jack.
What a kick from Rodos too.
So McGill go back inside 50. They're going to have another crack at it, Spock. No goals yet this quarter. Bedford's in the area. And the kick comes in the end. And that is a goal. Fergus Carruthers. So, played around with it a little bit too much, but still managed to finish it off. So they get the first goal of the quarter through Fergus Carruthers.
Game 50 for Fergus today, and he brings up the milestone with a drought-breaking goal in this third quarter, and for all Broadview's huff and puff, it's broken that lead back up to 12 points. 8 at half-time. Sportal scoreboard.
I think they would have been frustrated that they messed around with that one with Reed, and then even then there were probably a few too many handballs. Bedford had it. He was trying to decide where to go, and they just needed someone to finish it off. So Fergus Carruthers just got it done.
On the spot, picked it up, popped it on the boot, and what do you know? So 5 goals to 8, 15 scoring shots to 12. Broadview wasteful. They can't get back in this game. They've got themselves to blame. Smith's been pretty good. Rodos running after. It's been top of the pops for Spock. Michaels had a quiet second quarter. But a goal of the day, snag of the day contender in that second term. Higgins. A constricting tackle. Stuart Rattray and White. Out the back, Jackson. McKinnon Collins coming up for it. It's roams the open pastures. Day taps it on. The Pink Boot Brothers. There's Day. And that kick is measured absolutely perfectly. Accepts the high five from Ethan Smith, and why not? Elix Day, the Smosh Junior, put it out in front of the goal machine. Here he is. Been held quiet. We waited 15 minutes for the first goal of this third quarter. Just overcooked at the minute I left the boot. Boras knew about it with a shriek of agony. But lucky for him, it was touched over in the pocket, and the boundary umpire will throw it in. Dangerous spot of the ground. And do Broadview need to pull this goal back right now? Let's see if they can. 17 minutes gone. Spock lead by 12 points.
Oh, this is the moment they need. Trapped inside their 50, Lockwood punches it to forward advantage. Got plenty on offer in defence there. Just stripped of it. Oh, I thought that was a free kick, but they'll get the goal anyway. So nice finish there in the end from Fergus. Probably could have earned a free kick anyway, Broadview, but they got the goal either way.
Yeah, it looked a pretty clear free kick, didn't it? As might have been Rodos who was just running out with it. As we've seen so much in this third quarter, just kind of mucking around with it, messing around with it, get it on the boot, get it out of trouble. The ball just fell out of his grasp. Umpire was very generous. That's footy karma though. Jack Fergus, jogger on the spot. Sporto and Hahn Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard, back to a goal. The arm wrestle is going one way and just straight back the other. Spock looked to put that gap on the scoreboard. Broadview straight back.
The next goal's massive here.
Exciting and enticing. Jesse White, Swans and Collingwood, and Glenelg Premiership player, best and fairest. Can he get on top in the ruck? He's a wild card in this one. So is Ben McGill running that wing for the boys in blue. There's Day, appeals for it. Thought he was held onto, but the ball was gone. And Smith just hobbling now. Middle of the ground, Ethan Smith. Bit of a corky maybe. If Broadview are going to get up, he has to stay out there, Beck.
Been very, very good.
Influential Ethan Smith, the Maroubra Junior from Sydney. Played some footy at Sandy in the VFL and North Melbourne Reserves too. He has quite the stacked resume. One of their headline signings this season, Ethan Smith. He's doing his all to keep them in this contest. Stuart Rattray and White. Jesse White just getting on top in that ruck battle now. That'll make the Broadview fans just smirk and smile. One goal from a tied ball game. There's McGill just diving over the footy like a busy beaver, trying to get that piece of wood, but it comes out the other side. Mulleron claims. strong from McGill. These McGill brothers, they don't give an inch.
No, not at all. In the second effort there, he sort of got the smother and then laid the tackle as well. Just vital.
Mulleron thought he was out. Day. Snap around. Anyone's ball. Spock with a couple of spare numbers back, and that's exactly where they are. Alan Vrodos, and there's David Grant. Hasn't had much of the footy, but that's not his job. Assumes the role of loose man behind the play now. So 19:55, about to tick into time on. There we go. Stuart Rattray trying to bustle through Fergus. Eddie Allen just got it on the boot, learnt from his previous mistake. Coming in for Daniele, there's Smith. He's picked himself up, but he turns it straight over that man. David Grant, loose man, in the hole, takes the mark. Time on. As Malachi Carruthers brings it out and finds Charlie Allen.
So Charlie now dares to kick back into Grant. Oh, and that kick wasn't ideal. It's been cut off. We've got options galore in here, and that's going straight into the hands of Mulherron, and just a costly mistake. You can see Nick McGill there on the mark, just holding his head. He's put every single effort into this game, and it still ended up with a shot for Mulherron.
Yeah, if this goes through, all credit to Alex Day. Smosh Jr. played some footy, some senior footy there. Second season at Broadview. This will be 2 goal assists with 2 crisp passes off the boot.
Oh, Mulherron for his second goal of the game. He loves it off the boot. He doesn't even wait to see it through. Went straight through the middle. So Mulherron kicks his second for Broadview, and we are all tied up here at Caterham Oval.
Where else would you rather be, and what other game would you rather be watching? 2 teams putting it all on the line for their Div 1 life. All tied up. 8-4, 7-10. More than one way to skin a cat. As the Magpies fight in front of us here. They're enjoying their day. And boy, this is a beautiful afternoon. Adelaide Footy League round 16. 3 rounds left, including today. So 2 more after this. What a clearance this is. 22 minutes gone. Jesse White's just getting on top. Can Stuart Rattray get over the back? He does. Sticks the arm out. White took care of him. And Broadview come again. Playing in the front or off to the side. Just couldn't quite make it. Here's Boras. Man possessed. Day. Can he get their eyes for it, Alex Day? What a 10-minute patch this man's playing. 2 goal assists with 2 chiselled kicks inside 50, and now can he make it a third? Anyang at the back. Cho Anyang, touch, play on. Running into an open goal. Broadview had the book, but Smith was reading a chapter ahead.
Wowee.
Tigers in front.
It is all happening here.
What about the fast twitch fibres from Cho Anyang to recognise that the umpire had called touched, and Smith to hear that call, leak out the back, and it's the milliseconds that win your games of footy. And that was top shelf from the Tigers.
It absolutely was. That's just, they've just really found another gear. They've really found another level here just to get themselves going, and just, even if, you know, that ball was touched or not, regardless, you had Cho Anyang out the back, just straight into the basket, uncontested basically. You just can't have that happen. So back into the centre now. Stuart Rattray assisted by Bedford, just getting a punch out, but there can't be long to go in this quarter because we waited a long time for the first goal.
3 goals to 1 in this quarter for the Tigers now. We mentioned Spock have Glenunga and Port to come. They need to win this game.
So White does it all himself. Then still looking in the danger area there is Smith. Trying to use his speed as Wilson. They're just looking for that safety of the line, where previously in this game they were taking it on Spock. Now just happy to get it over the line. Just trying to stop the bleeding a little bit here. They will not want to let another goal in. Is it going to come? McGill.
Yeah, he didn't know he got paid the mark there and played on. Very smart, common sense umpiring to make sure he took his kick. I tell you what, Beck, when Spot kicked that goal from Fergus Carruthers that put them 12 points up 15 minutes in, after Broadview had worked so hard in the first half of this quarter, you thought maybe just might dip a few Broadview heads, but credit to them, 3 goals in 6 minutes. And they're back and they're in front.
Yeah, I thought Spock were a chance to break away then, definitely. But here they go again with that long kick, no target, and Broadview have been ready for this kick ever since the second quarter. They've set up so well for it. They've got plenty of numbers out the back, a little bit of frontal pressure, but they see it through. Almost saw it to Ed Allen, but everything's just going Broadview's way at the moment. They're just absolutely everywhere. A strong tackle. Maybe
again,
a little bit unlucky.
Yeah, again, pretty good umpiring, I thought. He just tried to go around the back and run out of the tackle. And he was caught.
So Carruthers forced to do some hard work. If that kick had just, gone into his hands, he had plenty of room to run down that wing, but they're just doing things the hard way at the moment, Spot.
26 minutes. This might be the last roll of the dice here.
McGill into Bedford. I don't know if he realises that there's not much time here, but he needs to get going. Sends it inside 50. A mark and goal here could be everything. Spoiled each other, did the Spock forwards, just messing around with it again. Stoppage will come.
This is a massive next 30 seconds. 1 goal gap, teeth of goal. Snap out of clearance. All the way out. McKinnon Collins, the ball just faded on him. Who can pick it up? Who really wants it?
Very tense down there.
Umpire takes it. 26.5. Broadview have stormed into a lead. And they'll take it into 3-quarter time. All Spock in the first quarter, but in fairness, they've been pretty invisible since quarter time. 7 goals at half time, only the 1 in that third quarter. At the 15-minute mark, as we talked about, Beck, when Fergus Carruthers just broke the deadlock, made it a 12-point Spock advantage, you thought Spock could break away here, as you said, but 3 goals in 6 minutes to Fergus, Mullerom and Smith with that sneak off the back of the pack after Anyang's mark was called play on, and Broadview take a 6-point lead into 3-quarter time.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive quarter here. Both teams, as we've said all day, just wanting to save themselves from that relegation zone. I think we are in for a massive final term here, Jack.
4th quarter coming up next.
to the final term here at Caterer Oval, St. Peter's. Just 6 points separates the two teams. A game that's been dominated by Spock, but Broadview just been coming through hard to take the lead in that third term. And this game is very much up for grabs. And you know what else is up for grabs? Is a spot in Division 1 next year. Take us through it, Jack.
Yeah, Brighton and Teachery Gully, level ball game. Whoever wins that pops himself out of the relegation zone. Same story here. Day got the handball, he handed it off, but the kick from Mackenzie trickles out in front of that bench. Umpire sets the mark. Short options on. Malachi Carruthers, goal scorer today. 27 senior games for Sturt. His kick hits in the marking contest, finds Eddie Allen. Short. Slow and steady might win the race. Here's Stuart Rattray, marks ahead of White. Equalised that contest well against the AFL veteran. One grab, the second. Johnny Reid reels it in. Drops an absolute sitter in the third. Looks to make up for it now. Just the tonic Coach Michael O'Leary would have demanded at three-quarter time.
Did well there. Sort of got caught behind and you thought he might not have been in the right spot for it, but all that experience in the forward line, he knew exactly what he was doing. Or that's what he'd tell the coach anyway. 3
first quarter goals. Spock hit Broadview for 6 in that first quarter. Only 2 goals since, make that 3! Jumping Johnny Flash adds a 4th to his mini bag. Drags them level. 1.5 gone, perfect opening to this 4th quarter. Spock are back in business.
They are, but you can see the response coming from Broadview, I think. Saw them huddle straight away into that midfield line, sort out what they're going to do in this clearance. Now, we've seen Reid here with the first goal. I think it would only be fitting if the response came from Boras down the other end. We just got these 2 forwards having an absolute shootout, but we're back in the middle now with White. Got the tap down, a little bit too much on that tackle. So, it's like Jackson here, wheels around on the left. Oh, and that's a precision kick. That is a man that knows his teammates and knows his forward line well. And I reckon, I've called it, it's Boras.
Did somebody say crystal ball stuff? Beck Northcott, gee.
I just really wanted to see a big old forward shootout here, so...
I'm at the ground, but I feel like I'm watching on delay because you've called it absolutely perfectly, goal for goal. Johnny Boras says what you can do. Maybe I can do better. Let's see what he does.
Can Boras put it through? Give me that fairy tale start to this quarter. Yes, he can! Johnny Boras, he levels up on the battle of the Johnnies in the forward line here. He kicks his 4th, says Johnny Reid, I can kick 4 as well. And Broadview back in front.
JJ. Johnny and Johnny.
Yeah.
The Johnny and Johnny show. Goal for goal, 3.5 gone. Let's just start the quarter again.
I might just go home after that. I've called, what was going to happen in the quarter. I don't think, I can get any better than that. I might just bow out.
Olympic style peak performance by you, Beck, in commentary. You just read the book, chapter ahead, put the bookmark in.
Oh.
Dale pick it up, trickle it back to McGill. Free kick was off the ball. Sam Daniele stands the mark, drops the head, but it's about 2 metres defensive side of the centre circle. So Rodos just pumps it towards Ruckman and Lockwood, who engages. Chase on, they hold each other, and Little just escorts him out. All the experience in the world. Exchanges a high five with Wilson. Umpire will chuck it back over his head. Smith hanging off here. Higgins on him. Day and McGill on the other side. Little and Vrodos. As Jesse White just uses the sheer strength to hold off Lockwood. Vrodos pumps it. Off the Base of the pack, running into an open goal. Higgins, he was confronted and met. Oh, the ball just won't behave for anybody, but it finally does. And just wheeling and dealing out of... That's the Bianco mark of the day contender. No time to waste from Eddie Allen. So much responsibility, hands in the back. Will be a Broadview free kick right in front of us. Reed over Officious. Shoved out the way, Ralph, and he'll head down the wing. Another free kick here, and it might go the way of Spock, and Allen will reload and pump it back inside 50.
Ed Allen, been one of my best for Spock today. He's just been absolutely everywhere. His kick cut off by Daniele. He was looking for Stuart Rattray on the lead, and it was a beautiful lead, but kick just went a little bit short.
He put himself in the hole, didn't he?
Yeah, knew exactly where it was, and it just dropped for Daniele, so he goes long, a little bit high. It looks like that was Allen in there again. He's just been on an absolute heater in the last few minutes. The punch comes from Stuart Rattray this time. He says, I'm going to contest it. No more uncontested marks inside 50.
Wrapped up on the edge of 50. Spock need this next goal. If Broadview push it out to a 2-goal margin, you're just not sure, because Spock kicked 6 in the first quarter, and since then only 3 for the rest of the game.
Oh!
Oh, umpire's getting involved here.
Here we go.
What did you see, Beck?
Just got a little bit dealt with after he marked it there, did Nick McGill.
Smith looked to be in his way, and I think McGill wanted to get on with it, and Smith just bumped him down. Umpire said you held the play up, 25. McGill from 50 to draw us back level.
So Nick McGill all the way from deep in defence. Can he be the hero for Spock? And he's just grazed the post there, but could that be a handy point?
Shaved it. Set play. The old 7-point play.
The old 7-point play, we've seen it before. They can lock it in here. 7
minutes gone, still a mountain of time on the Sportal and Hahn Zero Carb scoreboard. Ralph chisels one today. Had to grow an inch in a second, couldn't, and Spock right back. Oh, another dropped mark. Unlikely to see 2 more easy marks dropped in this game. Can they butter up into sleeves? It's going to have to bend back on the breeze, Spock. That's a disastrous moment. Felt the pressure when there was none.
That was it. That was the 7-point play. It was on. It was happening.
Becky,
it was executed.
Your crystal ball just smashed it on the ground.
It's gone. It's gone. I've thrown it away.
All right, 4 points. Up he goes, but caught at the back. Russell thought he was escorted. Allen, oh, he popped it into a hole. Didn't take any of the footy. Ralph arrived late. And I tell you what, Beck, Edward Allen is just taking it upon himself to win the footy and put it into spots. But he can't do it all.
No, I just feel like he's trying to carry the entire team on his shoulders at the moment. Bit unlucky there was probably Ralph, just the timing was off. Probably, if I was him, probably would have just put the hands down and tried to make it a bit more of a defensive bump, because as soon as you come through with the arms like that, it's going to be a free. Massive kick here to come.
Ralph stands the mark. He'll kick from about 46. Just guides it towards goal. It's just going to drift away. Malachi Carruthers just popping it to the wrong side of the goals. 3-point game. 9 minutes gone. Crescendo to this one is coming.
Oh, building.
We'll say it again. Winner out of the bottom 2. Loser into the bottom 2 with 2 weeks remaining. Chopped off.
Didn't drop that one, Johnny.
Broadview just digging themselves hole after hole. Johnny Reid, perhaps less pressure on that kick than the one he drops absolutely cold like a hot potato moments ago.
Oh, for his 5th, Johnny Reid. And he's just got to make Broadview pay here. A few behinds in the last couple of minutes aren't going to do it. Reid.
You've got to be kidding.
Oh dear.
Say the Spock fans, they were down by 6, they're down by 2 now, 4 behinds in a row. This ends for behinds. Broadview kicked, what, 7 in the first quarter?
It is. It just...
Spock now with the last 4 scoring shots, all behinds. 10 minutes gone. We're in for an absolute cracker of a finish here.
Just can't finish it off at the moment, Spock. They've had chance after chance, and there's the mark that they've been looking for the last 4 kick-ins. Gets it into the hands of Russell. Oh, punch from behind came. Crowd wanted it for a late one, but Bedford now. Nice kick to McGill. McGill almost played on there. That was right on the edge. Benefit of the doubt, of course.
Tigers have a loose man back.
Long kick now. Down to Fergus Carruthers. Like you said, Jack, they're going to be setting up for that quick kick to come in. So you can see Jesse White sitting in the hole. Carruthers now goes long. Oh, that's a beautiful mark. Stewart Rattray. He just floated through the air then. That was like slow motion.
Get yourself a hard hat from Bianco, because that's the mark of the week. Contender.
Yeah, Stewart Rattray just eyes for the ball. Floated through time and space. We're going to get another mark here. No, not to be this time. You could see Reed was coming from behind. The ball's just spilling. No one quite wants it. The tackle comes, but no prior there whatsoever. I mean, the players wanted it. It's always nice to ask for it. If you ask nicely, all the umpire can say is no.
So McKinnon Collins is the one just in the hole off the back of this contest for Broadview, playing loose. He pushes up the ground just to get on Lockwood. Now runs back towards the contest.
There's a free kick being paid here.
Looks like abuse off the hand of the umpire, signalled with the one hand out. That's what they couldn't afford. The 2.15s is Ralph. Marks ahead of Michaels, who still has that snag of the day locked up, unless we see a remarkable effort in the closing stages here. 12 minutes gone. Spock's season is on the line. 2 points down. Ball is living inside their forward half. Anyang just hustled back to the edge by Grant. McGill over it again. Coming in here. Day has played himself quite a second half. He wraps up Charlie Allen, who comes off for a well-deserved rest. He'll get a boost and come back on. Lockwood and White. Lockwood just dropped White as they went to ground. And Head just bounced off the turf here. He looks in a slightly bad way, Jesse White.
I don't think there was much in it in the way of malice. I think it was just a bit awkward the way the contest finished there. Just a bit unfortunate.
Lockwood just let him go, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't drag him into the ground, but White perhaps expecting to be held all the way to the turf. Out the back. Goal here would be huge. Kick from Daniele. Found the hands of a Tigers man. McKinnon Collins wrapped up. Spock need to be clean and quick.
Whoa.
McKinnon Collins claims yet another victim. There's Day. Still it. Forward 60. Kick went about 2 metres. Lockwood tried to claim it. Play on. Got the handball. Flirting with the boundary. It's all tough and tight in there. 13 minutes gone. Both these teams' seasons on the line. At the moment, it's Broadview by 2 points in the battle to save yourself in Div 1.
Just the work rate there from Ed Allen was ridiculous. The ball comes out the back to Higgins. Coming through Stewart Rattray. Reed's involved as well. And then coming through from the back was Fergus Carruthers. They're just pushing the ball forward at the moment. That's all they need to do. But nice desperate handball came out the back from Jackson Wilson.
Oh, Wilson, so good. Just bustled his way through.
Great skills. Got it into Stephen Jackson, who's found a man out on his own on the far wing. Just got to keep possession at the moment. That's a mongrel of a kick. So McGill got possession, but couldn't get it cleanly to the next one in the chain. Looking for Grant. So the stoppage will come. On the far side, of course, they couldn't be playing on the commentator side of the ground. That would make things too easy. As Anyang got the quick tap out the top, but Spocker got the numbers. Anyang again. Comes out the back. O'Leary looks for goals and straight through. Cooper O'Leary gets the settler for Broadview. And that'll push the margin out. That's the one that they needed there. So Cooper O'Leary has been working hard, Broadview, working hard in defence, push it through, finish it off.
Is that the kick that relegates St. Peter's? Still a couple of weeks left in the season, but with matches against the undefeated Rams and Port Districts to come, this was the game that St. Peter's needed to win. And now they need 2 goals in the space of about 8 minutes, halfway through this fourth quarter. Another goal to the Tigers, and that might just settle it. As O'Leary closed the book on the Spock Div 1 chapter. Not if they've got anything to say with it. Carruthers all the way to Reid, one-on-one. Ralph did absolutely beautifully. Reid follows up at ground level. And coming out, just a bit of a cool head in a crisis. Kane Flanagan, how good. Half forward for the Tigers. They're flirting with the boundary. Spock have a few dice rolls left. Just tried to measure it into Carruthers. Malachi takes a step, and the second one was over the boundary. It's all under pressure now. If they've got any lives left, they need to use them now. The boys in blue. Since the first quarter, it's been all Broadview. 6-goal opening term. Spock need a goal, and need it right now!
Oh boy. There it is.
Crowd have packed in and they're not going away. Back to a 2-point game.
That was an absolute moment in this game. Just had to come through, be strong, put one on the board, and that's what they've done. So Spock say we're not out of this yet. They bring the game back within 2 points.
Just straightened up. All the experience, all the names. Allen and Collie directly in front. Just guided it through as well. Measured it beautifully. Another couple of metres short. It would have been off hands, but didn't overkick it. And we're back to a 2-point game. Next goal, massive.
Next goal wins kind of territory. Mark just dropped there by Jackson Wilson. Just pressure all over the ground. Danielle, that's a beautifully weighted kick right out in front of his forward. Absolute precision to Kobe Russell. Couldn't ask for any more than that from Sam Daniele. The next kick from Russell. Almost a mark taken there. Almost had 2 in a row. Got to work a little bit harder for this one. But the mark's taken this time by Brodos. Brodos enacts the switch immediately, and that kick just straight into the hands of McGill again. That is players that know exactly where each other are. Collie now. Oh, and that kick again. They're just hitting them everywhere. Higgins goes in, looking for Stuart Rattray. He got outplayed in that contest, spills over the line.
Last ditch defending on that outer side, but what about Ed Collie? He's just stood up in the past few minutes, trying to will his side over the line and just coming back to spoil that. O'Leary on that side. Jesse White trying to lock it up in there. Umpire's got a choice to make. Oh, it looked like he just might have dived on the footy. Spock appealed. 30 out. Spock trailed by 2. Plenty of time. 19 gone. Final quarter. Bedford's been kept pretty quiet inside 50. That's got to work back. It just might have the legs! Oh, the boys in blue! Get around them, because they're back!
They are not done with Division 1 yet.
Off the canvas and back in front!
Now, I'm just checking who that was. I believe it might have been Brodos.
Off the side of the contest, just put it up in the air towards goal and let Mother Nature do the rest. Took it, spun it in.
That is absolutely clutch from Brodos. I believe that was him that finished it off, and it's just those moments that are going to win you games in these tight situations. He's can't put himself into the middle, stood up, put on the boot, kicked the goal, but there's still time left in this game.
Not even time on, we're about to tick into it. So Broadview still have a chance, moving it out. Oh, there's Bedford, he couldn't run onto it. Little just takes the underground route. Smith, can they answer straight back? Jackson. It's going to be a very tough angle, but he hits a target inside 50. Looks like Russell down there.
Yep, that's Russell. They just got to watch for the pass here, the Spock defenders.
Oh, it's a slice. Measured it down there, just rush it through, the Spock fans say. Broadview are all over it.
Oh no, too high.
The roars. Oh,
too high.
A season in Div 1 comes down to little moments. And it'll be a set shot for the most accurate player in Div 1. And the man who eats goals for breakfast. Everywhere he goes, he kicks goals. Johnny Boras goes bang, and the Tigers roar again.
That is absolutely huge from Johnny Boras, and there's no one else's hands you would want it in for that set shot on this field.
5 now for Johnny B. It's the big names in this fourth quarter. Johnny Boras and Ethan Smith. While for Spock, it's been Collie and Vrodos. 21.5 gone. Broadview 2-point lead. There's still another twist or turn, I think, Beck, in this one.
Oh, I think there's plenty of time for another plot twist, but just sticking the knife back in there, Broadview.
Have you smashed your crystal ball, or can you bring it out again for us?
I don't know. I think, can we get a little bit more action from Johnny Red? We'll just have to wait and see. Stuart Rattray getting involved, but Daniele, the clearing kick out of 50. The juggled mark, there it is. Now this kick could be the game. It's Kobe Russell, just took it on the 1-2, and if he slots this through, you think it's probably game over, Jack.
Right behind it on the filming footy call, 22 gone. The Happy Valley and Paynham Jr. in his 158th club game. He's the most experienced head out there for the Tigers today.
Kobe Russell, he had little options moving forward, but he wheels around. Kick looks good. Is it going to drop short? Looks like it just has, but it's come off the boot in the goal square. Not quite sure who got to that one, but either way, it's a Broadview goal.
Might be the dagger that sinks St. Peter's to Div 2.
It certainly might be.
They hit the front 3 minutes ago. The twists and turns in this Div just leave your jaw on the floor sometimes. Have Spock got anything left? Down by 8 points, 23 minutes gone now.
Well, they're going to have a lot left, and they're going to have to spend it pretty quickly.
I was here last season when Spock kicked 2 goals in 30 seconds at the end of the game to come back and secure it when they were all but dead. They'll need exactly the same, but they look to have run out of petrol tickets. McGill. He couldn't affect it. Higgins is there. The desperation is palpable. Ralph just pumps it 50 metres towards the other end of the ground where Spock desperately needed to be. Allen, this is it. Collie. No time to dwell. Stuart Rattray's been immense against Jesse White. The ball just won't behave. It's a Broadview footy right now. Umpire holding the footy.
It had to be.
He's got to get up and put it through or hand it off to McGill in the pocket. Charlie Allen didn't want the responsibility.
I get it. I get it.
McGill, this is a tougher angle than Allen would have encountered. So he sets it up. Needs a mark right now. Lockwood one hand. He claims it. Umpire says no.
The Tough claim, I reckon. There was a lot of hands in there.
Spot on. 7-point lead. 24 and a half gone. We're into the realm of miracles now for Spock.
Just thinking about those 4 points that Spock kicked prior to this moment, and that's probably what's going to send this game begging. There's Alan. My God, he's been immense in this game.
So is this man, Vrodos.
Alan Vrodos wheels around. Got numbers in the goal square. There it is. There's the mark. But you've got to go here, Higgins.
25 minutes on the clock.
He can't rush it, but because he wants to kick it. But there's not much time at all. Higgins. He puts it through, and this game has got another moment in it yet. We are not done here at Caterer Oval.
Twists and turns in this fourth quarter. I know I've said it once, but this is jaw on the floor stuff. You just can't believe what's taken place in this final term. Spock hit the lead. Broadview went bang, bang. Boras and Russell, and you thought they'd taken it. 25 and a half gone. 8 goals in this quarter, so surely there's more than 27, 28 minutes in this term. Plenty of goals.
My heart's racing.
Still plenty of time. No one knows how much left. Alan, all the names are in there, Vrodos. Can Spock save themselves? Carruthers inside 50 and where it needs to be. Can Broadview get it out? Bedford's been quiet. Handballs to Michaels. Oh, he's burned a teammate, but he's got Reed, who turns around! Johnny Reed! This is Houdini-like stuff! The Great Escape is on again!
This is nuts. This is honestly ridiculous stuff here from Spock. And
they were meant to be in Div 2 this season, and they won 5 of their last 6 last year.
And you know, they've had the last 2 quarters to do stuff like this, but they say, no, we'll wait until the last 2 minutes of the game.
I've got no more octaves to go to.
Oh, goodness gracious.
No more voice left. The vocal cords are done with 27 gone. Spock are up by 5. Beck, give us another twist.
I can hardly breathe here. It's just gone ridiculous here. Spock inside 50. Charlie Allen uses his body well.
Insane.
5 points here. We've got another goal on the way, do we? Can they finish it off? Yes, they can. Malachi Carruthers. Can he put this game to bed? He might have just done it. This game is ridiculous. It's 11-point lead now to Spock. Where were we at about 2 minutes ago, Jack?
Broadview had this one locked up. Locked up.
I don't know what I'm saying right now.
Just a lazy 10-goal quarter. 6 for Spock, 4 for the Tigers. Spock hit the front. Broadview went bang, bang. Spock now with 3 in a row. Surely.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
28 minutes gone. They're up by 11. This might be the 5-minute patch that saves their season. Absolutely insane.
Check my heart rate.
You just don't see this. 14 goals to 12. It's been a shootout. The arm wrestle has ceded. The defence has been left on the floor. And Spock want a bit of percentage. Can you believe I'm saying that?
They might need it.
Bedford leaves it for Charlie Allen. He just sizzles it towards Johnny Reed, and that'll do Spock nicely in the pocket. They'll throw it in. 28 and a half gone. Watch this fourth quarter back tonight.
I can barely watch it right now. I don't think I can watch it again, Jack, even if I do know the ending.
This is gold medal stuff from Spock. They've picked themselves up a couple of times. And now they're laying tackles, desperate tackles inside their forward 50. 29 minutes gone, they've got an 11-point lead, and they are saving their season.
I have no idea how long is left in this game. Is there another story to be had? Nice saving mark taken by Wilson. Wilson, that is a brave kick, but they've got to go down the middle now. They don't know how much time's left. Little's here on his own. just a result of how this game's been played. They're going to have the numbers here, Broadview, for the minute. But here comes the tackle. Little's out the back, but that was too high. Little's got to go back.
Umpire's called time.
Set.
So no time will come off the clock until he'll blow his whistle or the kick is taken.
And Hill's got to reset himself here to the mark. Hill goes long and strong. Where's our boy Boras? They've still got numbers out the back here. Oh, but that is a leap from Collie. The twists and turns. McGill puts his body on the line again, and they've done it. St. Peter's keep their season in Division 1 alive for another week, and I don't quite believe what we've seen here in this final term. Spock 14-9, 93, finish off ahead of Broadview 12-10, 82, 11-point winners.
Well, they just believe, don't they? I mean, I don't even know where to begin to wrap up that last quarter. You thought both teams had it won probably about 3 or 4 different times, yet at the end of it, Spock will find themselves, gee, I dare say, the first time this year they won't be in the bottom 2 tonight, because of course someone has to win between Tea Tree Gully and Bryden, and we'll check in on that score. Bryden have won that game. So Bryden have beaten Tea Tree Gully, so it means the bottom 2 now will be Tea Tree Gully and Broadview. Broadview will drop into the bottom 2. That fourth quarter, you just got to watch it back to understand what exactly happened, because Broadview hit the lead by a couple of goals, and that was on the 22nd minute mark, I want to say. Spock, they just have some kind of divine right to be in this division, because they should have been relegated last year, won 5 of their last 6, and it's still not a done thing because they've got to play Gununga and Port in their last 2, but wow.
I'm still just taking in what we've seen here, just the lead changes in that quarter, the goals. You know, I feel like that, you know, Reed and Boras goal moment, that feels like about 2 hours ago. That was the start of the fourth quarter. It's just been an absolute wild ride watching these teams, and, you know, me and you were talking about this game during the week and said, you know, we're on the sort of, you know, bottom 5 game here, but that didn't feel like it at all. That felt like real sort of top shelf game in that last quarter. Everything was on the line, both teams throwing everything at it. I have not seen a last quarter like that in a very long time.
Yeah, and a little bit of percentage too, so they were behind Broadview by 0.7%. 0.07%, an 11-point win. You're not going to get much percentage from it, but it just might boost them above where Broadview are. So they're level on wins and losses now, and the fans, well, they've turned out this afternoon for, it was Malachi Carruthers' 50th game, I believe. Sorry, it was Fergus Carruthers' 50th game, so some fans in for that, but they're getting a well-deserved cheer off Caterer Oval, and the Great Escape Mark II.
Well, they're going to be singing this one pretty loudly, because that was a really inspiring finish to the game. Like we talked about, there was probably a moment where we thought Broadview's got this done here. You know, they got that 2 kicks ahead. We thought it's done and dusted here, and they just picked themselves up off the ground out of nowhere. Really on the back of some really hard work by Edward Allen. He was incredible, just came up to every single contest. He took marks, he affected spoils, and he just gave those forwards another opportunity every time to score. Yeah,
Rodos and Collie as well. For Broadview, Ethan Smith, I mean, single-handedly almost won them the game.
Yes.
And of course, Boras with his 5th. When he kicked his 5th, you thought it was all over Broadview's way.
Oh, but I did too.
Another twist and turn in your crystal ball back. You can hear him sing the song from here, and we're on the other end of the oval. That's pretty much it from Caterer Oval. Take a breath, have a shower, have a cold shower, go home and watch this back on replay, especially that fourth quarter. The arm wrestle turned into a shootout. And at the end of the day, St. Peter's find themselves out of the relegation zone with 2 weeks of the season remaining. Beck, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, it certainly has. What a game, what a game. You know, it just, you know, you can see a game and think, oh, like I said, you know, we've got a bit of a bottom of the table clash, might not be any good. I think I haven't seen a lot of the other results, but they'll be up there for game of the round, I reckon, Jack.
Yep, you can watch them all back right now on Filming Footy. The bottom 4 heading into the last 2 weeks of the season looks like this. In 7th, will be the Brighton Bombers in 8th, St Peter's and Broadview and Tea Tree Gully in the bottom two with 2 weeks left. You'll see every minute of action from Div 1 and the finals here on Filming Footy. Have a magnificent week. Hope you enjoyed this absolute blockbuster.